That, huh? Huh? Are we live? Are we doing it? Why am I seeing this stupid Facebook thing? Get away from your Facebook. Get away from here. Yeesh. How do I get this fucking thing away? So for those of you who might be watching, there's some, oh, there you are. There's 1,000 of these. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Oh my god. Huh? Okay. Okay. There we go. Hello. I don't know if this looked any different from your end, but it has changed on my end. Yeah. Let's see. What are we doing? I guess I'll wait a little bit for people to show up. As per Hege. I wonder. Hello. The Magician Girl and Mom. Hi. Welcome to today. And all that entails. I have a special thing planned for today, which I'm gonna set up. Hello, Disunito. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad to see you. You seem excited to be here, and that's great. I guess I'm streaming to Facebook now, aren't I? That's right. What am I doing? I'm doing this. Disunito. Do I know you, Disunito? Or are you just inferring that my name is John because that's my username? Okay, what am I doing? Oh, I'm gonna be fancy. Lurkers say hello. Hello, Lurker. You're no longer a Lurker. You said hi. You are officially a active contributor to the social vibe of the larger project. The project at large. And I appreciate it. I have so many cameras pointed at me. I currently have 4 cameras pointed at me, but only this is one of them, and then there's these other 2, or 3. So I'm gonna get those running. I think I can do that. I think I can do that. Make this bigger so y'all can see it. See these? Look at these words. Oh. And I learned how to do something. Check this out. Boom. Screencast. Toggle screencast mode, and I do this, and I'm like hello. I type. Look, you can see the letters that I put. Cool. Are you first of all, thank you. Secondly, I'm sorry that you exist in other people's minds right now. It's stressful, but I believe in you. And I'm curious about these physical effects. Are you an animator? Game designer? Which use case do you fall under? What am I doing? Over here. Oh, cool. It makes a little circle. Bop, bop, bum, bum. That's actually a little obnoxious, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, no, that makes sense. So currently what I'm doing, for those of you following along at home, is I am in, this is VS Code. Ooh. Ooh. Hello. I'm glad you're here. The answer is, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Let's find out. Not in real time, but we'll get to. I think we will get to real time. We do love robots, says Sarah, who I know now. I remember now who that is, and he's correct. We do love robots. Right, so this is free mocap or whatever, and I just ran this free mocap run me script, which just says import free mocap as FMC, and then fmc.run me, and then it sets these bools appropriately for the desired outcome, which in this case is start from the beginning, use media pipe, blah blah blah, and I'm just gonna like set these up, and then I'm gonna do like a thing, and I'm gonna do another thing, and then we'll continue to do things until I get tired and quit. Oh right. So the first thing I do is I select the available cameras. So 0, 2, 3, because there's 3 cameras. There's actually 0, 1, 2, 3, but this is camera 1, and it's blocked. It's in use by you guys. Okay, set up, submit, go. Now it's asking me about like setup stuff. None of these are going to be rotated because they're all like standard. And it looks like this. Here's one. And then there's another one, and then there's another one, and then that's me again. So they are not rotated, although I often do rotate them, like in this video, because I would need more of the vertical, but in this case they're like attached to my... This is actually the first time that any of these, except for this guy, this is the first time that any of these webcams have been like on a monitor as they're sort of, as God intended. But it'll be okay. So exposure is really important. -8 is probably too, we're not just not enough light for that to work. So let's bump that to, you could probably get, let's see -6, and I just won't move very fast. Basically, the lower the number, the shorter the duration of the frame. And the shorter the duration of the frame, the less blur you get, but the more light you need. It is a trade-off, as it were. I'm going to put you guys here. Hey, 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 Mycon. Oh, Mycon. Ever reliable. And hey, naughty naughty. Gang's all here. Ooh, hello. This is me from various angles. Oh, you don't need to. This is a hole in my desk that that was created. Like in the pandemic. What else do I not want you to see in my life? And like the holes just slowly got bigger and bigger, and it like doesn't cause me a problem in my life. It's just it's a little embarrassing to have like a giant hole in your desk. See, now it's gone. Now no one, as the poll does. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I believe you. Oh, I should probably move my microphone closer to my face. Pop. So there's 1, 2, 3. This is what we call foreshadowing. Oh yeah, guys, because there's 4. I actually do like keep stuff in there. The biggest problem is like it means that there's no actual like flat surface. Yes, it does. We don't worry about that. It'll be fine. The poll will be sufficient. Man, it's weird seeing. It's like being in one of those like clothes stores, I think they call them, where you got like the 3-way mirror, and it's like, Jesus, is that what I look like from all these angles? I have a little zit. See, the things you learn about yourself. When am I doing this? I tell y'all, like a part of this. Sotomante. Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the party. Glad you made it here live. I discovered I turned on all these cameras. I discovered I have a zit on my lip, and now I'm distracted by it. But I should probably just get over it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's weird. I don't actually see the back of my head very often. There is something, like, I think, personally, because I've grown up doing motion capture at this point, like, for like 1,000 years. Since I was started grad school, 24, currently 37. That's how many years? No one can do that math. There's just something. I've been working with Mocap and VR and whatnot, and ever since then. And like, there's just something a little bit mesmerizing. Hey, Zeka, welcome here. Hello, good to see you. But there's something mesmerizing about looking at your own data. It's just like the skeleton above me. I can just watch it forever. It's like, wow, that's me. Look at that. And that's kind of part of the vibe of this thing. Is like, if I can get people, a lot of people want to mocap people, right? A lot of reasons to want to record a person. And we all, I think, kind of have like an appreciation of ourselves. Like, so much of our world these days is like pointing a camera at yourself. And like, if you're like like older generations, like, oh God, narcissism. But actually it's just like, humans love humans. And the one we have the closest and strongest interest in is like this one. So like, so much of my research is about like extracting scientific data from human behavior. And so it's like, well, why don't we just like give that to people? And then the assumption is that because it's sort of intrinsically motivating to look at videos and recordings of yourself, that you can kind of leverage that to turn it into like an educational thing, because there's a ton of possible educational avenues of this. Cameras, programming software, physics, biomechanics, neuroscience, medicine or something, I don't know. Anyway, that's the vibe. That's part of the vibe. Yeah. Thanks, Sotomonte. Mycon, that's an interesting question. I do think that, so I do a lot of circusy stuff, and what I can say about that is our intuition about, so like when someone comes in and like, I want to do some sort of movement or something like that, you can usually tell pretty quickly if they have any kind of training, because they have body awareness, where body awareness is like, do this with your body, and then that happens, and that's something that gets trained. So that's something that you develop over time of sort of being trained in movement and like, martial arts, circus, gymnastics, yoga. You develop body awareness. The reason why I say that is because I think that our baseline intuition for something like, where is my center of, I say center of mass, but center of gravity is the same thing. Like, visually, where is that? Like, can I see it? I think that actually would really help, especially beginners with training of various things. Augmented reality would be weird, because then it's like, I guess it's like, you're like, I don't know, like doing something and then immediately seeing a 3D reconstruction with your center of mass, and then have a coach be like, oh no, you did this and not that. I think that'd be super helpful for the world. Okay. What's the plan? What is the plan? The plan is make a new note over here in the method that is rapidly becoming, what's the word? Tradition. So first of all, I'll make you big. Boom, boom, boom. Now we can all see it. Hello. Ish. It's big enough for now. Twitch stream notes. And then I say hashtag Twitch, hashtag free mocap, hashtag media pipe, hashtag tutorials. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to record, there's like a, what's it called? I've been doing these like developer updates. I'm going to try to do like weekly developer updates. I absolutely believe that that's true, Mycon. In my experience, like, especially once you start getting your body into like unfamiliar spaces, like going upside down and stuff like that, or like, or put your, like we lose track of our bodies like that, and we immediately it's like move your left leg forward. It's like, what? I don't know what that means. And I think that the ability to visualize afterwards. Oh well, hello. Oh, Prime. That's very fancy. That's so fancy that it's using the default animation because I don't know what it means, but I think it sounds good. Thanks. Real first name. Okay, what am I doing? Right. Weekly update. And in this weekly update. So first of all, keep it under 2 minutes and 20 seconds because that's the maximum length of a Twitter video. Welcome back. Ooh. First thing, media pipe integration. Going great. Going well. And moving to develop branch of repo soon. Maybe works without a CUDA GPU. Way faster Apache 2.0 license. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, honestly, for like performers, of which gymnastics are technically those, like the ability to like see, like just like, oh, that's what I did, and like I can like zoom around it and see it from multiple angles. That'd be great. MOA development. I remember you. You were here last week, I think. Okay, what else am I updating? Boop, 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 boom. Media pipe integration. Oh, well. I got a lot of stuff to say. I don't know exactly what I want to say. Densarion. Hello. Welcome to this place in this time. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, right. And then tutorials and demos. Tutorials and demos on their way. Both written on the GitHub wiki. github.com/johnmathis/free-mocap/wiki. And video tutorials. Week's been pretty good. Julia. Julia is like a numerical programming language that I don't know how to use. But it's kind of like a MATLAB sort of, it's intended as like a MATLAB killer. Yeah, you also can hear that. Let's see what we got here. How are we doing? We're doing all right. We're doing all right. We got, oh, you guys probably can't see that. This guy? We're doing all right. OBS is using a lot of my GPU, but I got some pretty beefy GPUs. It'll be all right. Any other updates? I'm just gonna say this. Almost done with the unrelated manuscript revision that is blocking my ability to work on this project because that is relevant. Oh. Ooh. Squeeze 96. All right, just for you, I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put this here for you, Squeeze 96. GUI development is, oh, I do have an announcement. Is imminent. Imminent. Actually, no, that's not what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this, which is an actual thing. I'm gonna delete this, which is, I'm not gonna delete it. I'm gonna put it here under like 0. And I will not mention it. It's what they call an Easter egg. You probably can't see this, can you? Let's do this. Shrink. Shrink. There we go. An announcement about an announcement. Ooh. Cool. That's cool. Densarian. How do you spell imminent? Soon. There you go. So the third thing is working towards alpha release 0.1.0. Soon. Yeah, that's how you spell imminent, S-O-O-N. No, it's a good name. I like your name. It's like the brain splitting aspect of streaming is strange. So like it's hard to look like directly at an unfamiliar word and pronounce it out. So like, because it's like I have like 3 monitors, 4 webcams. I'm writing notes, and then there's like some number of like invisible humans like watching me. It's like strangely like asymmetric. Also, yeah, like you're often like pronouncing usernames. Hello, Densarian. Oh, you subscribed to me. That's what that means. Yeah. Thanks. I knew you were invisible because I couldn't see you. Ooh, I don't know. Thanks for subscribing. I don't know what subscriptions mean, but I think it's better. It's good. It's better. It's like bigger than a follow, I think, is my understanding. Sotomante. Hello. That's cool. I'll worry about that later. I will talk about that later. But like the plan. Speaking of that, because I am like a funded and employed research scientist, I want to be really like mindful of any kind of monetary donations that anyone might make, which I super appreciate. But I don't want to just like stick it in my pocket. That feels wrong. So I'm going to be forming like a nonprofit for this software, so I can like report where everything goes. Yeah. So we'll see, but and honestly, until like it breaks 4 figures, I don't care. It'll just sit and wait for like to be used. All the money will be used on the project, as long as I still have a paycheck from another source. And if that ever doesn't happen, then we'll talk. So alpha release will be media pipe. Actually, this would probably be number 1. Okay, let's do that. Oh, what just happened? Get out of here. Actually, that's probably easier to read, isn't it? Much easier to read. Okay. Yeah. A lot of different types of brains out there, it turns out. And like one of the things I think that's cool about the internet is like because like the level of communication is getting like some would say problematically high. We're starting to learn a lot of like details about the inner lives of a lot of people, and sort of like, wait, you don't do that? You're not like that? Anyway. Magic. So let's talk about moving. Let's talk about the alpha plant moving towards 0.1.0 version, which alpha release? I don't really know what like alpha means, but like it seems like the kind of thing that we would want. It's fine. Oh, Petri 3D. That's my preferred number of dimensions. I guess 4D because it's, you know, videos of 3D is what I like. Which is arguably this many, but I still like you. I'm glad you're here. It does. It has a great logo. That I will put up because it deserves to be on the screen. Image. Ping. Add source. Browse. Ha. Oh, thank you. There you go. Oh, I kind of want the black background for this, don't I? Look at him go. You can live down here. This is a good place for you. You need to be black. Yeah. That is also the same as the one on my website. Where you go? Let's put you. Do I have a black one? I know, it's a lot of things. There you go. You don't need to see all three of me. I think people, the point is easily made. There we go. That's actually, I like that. That's actually great. You don't need to see all four of me up there. Okay, so media pipe integration. No? FMC dot run me FMC dot demo. Bye, Dan Sarian. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, interesting. So Tamonte spent bubble dollars to highlight their message. I guess that's how this works, huh? Cool. And I appreciated it because that reminded me to put the logo up here, and I think that looks great. Cool. Click. And I know only to click. I know to be careful. But you have been deemed trustworthy. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I love Obsidian. It's great. It's like cool free open source software, and it's just like Markdown editor. And I like getting my students and whatnot like using Obsidian, because then it's just like, hey, like write GitHub documentation, and like you already know how to do Markdown. It's like, oh wow, we do. It's great. It came out like early in quarantine. It's like a pair of like two like 20 some odd, like early 20s grad students. Ah, channel points. Cool. Yeah, good call. Yeah, right. I knew Markdown-ish from Reddit, and I guess Discord too. And then it's just sort of like becoming obvious. It's like we should just be doing Markdown for everything. Like it's a very good language. Oh no, that's too good of an idea. um, you cannot, but you can format it. So you can do dot 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 Python import free mocap as fmc dot, and then do like fmc dot run me ha, and then f equals 9, and then I think when you do the preview, yeah, then it formats it. So welcome to that knowledge. Okay, I gotta focus. This is not my strong suit. So I'm gonna talk about that. And then optional / maybe maybe would be GUI. What's the other one called? Binaries? Blender add-on? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out as a group. We'll see. Well, not 1.0. I don't know. Not 0.1. I don't know. There's other numbers. It is very exciting stuff, I think. Return on their way. And that's all I need. I'm trying to get this done. I want to make this like a 2-minute conversation. Okay. I guess well, okay. Let's just do this real quick. Am I posting these notes anywhere? That's a good question. I should. So the answer is currently no, but might change because I should. Yeah, like on Discord would be a good place to do it. Like I think there's already a channel devoted to the stream, so I could just post the notes from the thing to there. I'll do that. Good call. Good suggestion. Nice. Okay. Focus. What am I doing? I'm going to do okay, so I'm going to make a recording for the developer update, and I'm going to I'm going to aim for 2 minutes, so that way I can post the whole video to Twitter. The free Mocap Twitter. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay. And 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh wait, I should turn music on. Soft, royalty-free sounds. The dulcet sounds of Neon X Death. Because that's my brother. And he makes good royalty-free music. Let's do... Okay. Okay. And I have to see the timer. Okay. All right. Hello. Wait, I'm looking at the Never mind. Okay, let me move. Wait, what? All right, I should just look in this direction because this is where the camera is. Wait, I can't do this because it's got sound. You need no words, please. Okay, let's see. All right. Hello, everybody who is not currently watching me live on Twitch and whatnot. This is a free Mocap developer update for the week of, where is that, August 5th. And yeah, so a couple interesting things happening. So basically, we're kind of right now moving towards what we're calling kind of an alpha release, sort of the first version that like your standard person can actually like use and work and play with. Mostly what that means is a media pipe integration, which is going well. I'll should be showing some like live demos of that on this stream. That'll be nice because I think it works CUDA free. It's like 10 times faster than OpenPose. Also, it has like an Apache 2 license as opposed to OpenPose is like weird and either free or very expensive license. The alpha, we're also going to want to have like a runme file, runme function, which we already have, and I'll show you that today. It works pretty well, but we also want a sort of demo version that will like download some sample data and then process it so you don't have to have like hardware to test out the software. And that will happen at some point. I don't know when. Also possible is like we're starting to work on a GUI. Think about a GUI until I pass step 0 up there. I can't put much time into it. Also, like binary applications and a Blender add-on is coming at some point relatively soon. We'll find out. And then number 2 is tutorials and demos. I'm going to be making demos maybe today. I don't know if these are what we're going to make prime time, but making tutorials, basic use demo, and documentation is also like big primo. What's the word? Priority. And also like making things work with like an 8.5 by 11 printout of the Truco board rather than like the big one in the video. Also big priority. All right, that's 2 minutes, and that's an update. That's what we've been doing. And thanks for being here, and goodbye. And click. All right, yeah, there it is. Bye. Okay, did that, nailed it. It's really strange seeing myself from this many angles. Okay, let's Trento. I know Trento. He's king of the humans. Oh, first thing I do. Trento is my postdoc. Sarah is also, I don't know what you would be, but he is he's a physically existing human. I think so. YouTuber named Rob in Motion. I mean, I'm gonna be showing you facial mocap today. Rob in Motion. Oh, this I like. I want this. Yeah, totally. Yeah, looks like not much activity, but you recent? 64 weeks ago. Linktree, what's your deal? YouTube channel, videography, photography site. Rob in Motion, I hope you're doing well. Six months, sometimes things... Ah. We'll talk about it. I'll just thank you for the heads up. Actual notes. Actual notes. Check out Rob in motion. Facial mocap. What I'll be doing is actually has facial mocap in it, but he's doing like post processing on top of the raw data that I'll be showing you soon. So yeah, if nothing else, I mean this model is like exactly I've been thinking of as almost this exact geometric shape. This guy looks like me too. Bald white guys, we all look alike. You were named after Trenton, New Jersey? That's funny. I didn't know that. I was named after a bird. Okay. So I'm gonna actual notes. Gonna make IPython notebook showing basic free mocap stuff. Usage. But I will close this down. Thank you for being here. You don't need to be here anymore. You can run Jupyter from VS Code, and that's what I'm going to try doing that right now. I don't know if it's going to work, because like there's a lot of GUIs and stuff like that, and I'm not sure how they work. Might need to change. How do you change the matplotlib backend so it doesn't? It needs to be not inline, I think, because it needs to be GUIs that pop out in individual windows. Let's see. Free mocap basic use. Free mocap basic usage. .ipynb. Is that right? It's a lot of letters. Yes. Cool. What are you? Import free mocap as FMC. That's it. Wait, no. Import free That's not a very good, what's the word? It's like a bad comment. This notebook will hopefully, first of all, friendo, you're markdown. Wait. Oh. How do I convert you into whatever the other thing is? Change cell to markdown. There you go. Ooh. How do I type on it? There we go. Will hopefully show basic free mocap usage by way of fmc.run me. Boink. Okay. Enter? Shift enter. Huh? Haha! Your code. Wait, your code. Wait, no. Your code. Okay. Then I'm going to say import free mocap as FMC. I'm glad. I'm learning too. I've never made an IPython notebook in VS Code. But this is actually so easy. It's just like fmc.run me, and then I say use media pipe equals true, use open pose equals false. I think that's what you want. Something like that. And then that might work. Let's find out. Import free Mocap. Ooh, I think I want this one. Everything looks really cluttered. Did you work? Oh, cool. It gives you a little timer. That's cool. I like that a lot. And I guess it works, too, so that's cool, too. And then, I don't know what's going to happen when I do this. Let's find out. Yeah, it doesn't like it. Use media pipe. Did I do the capitalization wrong? Use media pipe equals true. Why don't you like it? Oh wait, that's what it's at. So that's what that says. Use media pipe equals true. Naughty one. Okay, I don't know why this isn't working here, but it's weird, so I'm going to immediately abandon this IPython notebook and just switch to this script, which is kind of the same idea. Yeah, that's what I think. It doesn't. There's something weird going on there, or not even weird. It's just something untoward. But this should do the same thing. But this instead of being a IPython notebook, this is just free mocap run me script.py. And then again, you just import free mocap as FMC, and then fmc.run me, and then you feed it these sort of bools that do some definitions and stuff. This obviously needs more. This is not a full-on tutorial, but this is this is what I'm basically testing out today. Okay, and then you save it, and then you make sure that you're in the right conda environment. Where fmc pip was the one I made when I was practicing the installation from pip. Pip install free mocap, I think gets you here. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Pew. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. So first, you run it. It does this sort of thing where like it looks for the number for the cameras you have attached. It found 3, which is correct. 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 cameras total attached, but this one is blocked. So we have 0, 2, and 3 remaining. We can do either setup to like look at stuff. This needs work, but setup doesn't start recording. It just shows you the streams, but it doesn't currently let you like tweet them while you have to like shut it down and restart it if you want to change anything, which is not ideal. But here we are. Submit. 0, 0, 0. This is what it was just now when we were watching like a second ago. And submit. And mostly what I'm checking here is that things are oriented the right way, which I guess doesn't matter as much anymore. Now that we're not using open pose, would get confused if people were upside down. Media pipe probably still performs better if the humans in the scene are aligned to gravity, but it doesn't completely freak out when people are not upright, which is good if you want to do something like study like handstands or backflips, which I do. Open pose gives up the second you break parallel. It's like, I don't know what this thing is because the data that it was trained on didn't have upside down humans in it, so it never learned upside down humans. And it has a sense, it's like has these things called part affinity fields where it's like, and it learns the direction. So like it's like if I found a knee, I know that feet are below knees. So it has a sense of directionality to it. So if you give it an upside down person, it'll find the knee and look down, and it'll find a hip, and it'll be like, I don't know what the fuck this thing is. Education. MediaPipe is a little more sophisticated, but it almost certainly still performs better if humans are upright, because it almost certainly has more training data to that effect. The other thing, because I'm using this, and I'm not using something hard attached, like I'm just using this free guy, I want to find a configuration that will be a good view for all of the cameras, and I think this would do. I'm also making sure there's no glare. Like, this is bad because there's glare on it, and it's not like too oblique, right? Like this is not good. This should be fine. Let's find out as a group. Also not loving that glare. That should work. I think this should work. I close them out. It says, do you want to proceed to a recording session? I say yes. And 1,000, 2, 1,000 of calibration. And then now that's me. Hello. This is me. I'm John. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Yeah. There's no, that probably doesn't work. But who knows? Huh? Ha. Okay. That's the end of that recording. I'm gonna look at what you just said in a second. Or Micon. This is showing. Oh, this is basically showing the timestamps. This is the synchronization part. And this is showing that the three cameras the frame to timestamp interval was consistent, which means there were no dropped frames, which is good. If these things, I mostly look at this subplot. These other ones are informative too, but we'll skip them. Then we say proceed. I think you're on the right. You got the right idea, Micon. I'll check out that YouTube video later. Because yeah, some kind of just like, hey, here's how this works. That's more thought out than let me just do this randomly on Twitch. Is something that is desperately needed by this project, and I haven't really yeah, it's been kind of we'll get there. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, so like this, like the output here, I'm actually kind of thinking sort of like, because you want like a fully GUI, but I think you also want like a command line interface is currently running MediaPipe. I estimated earlier that it was running on, I think it runs at like somewhere around 10 to 20 frames per second on like my reasonably powerful GPUs, like 20. Like it's not even like Titans or Quadros or something. I can't remember, honestly. Sorry. I bought these computers before I really had need for GPUs, so I know that they're good, but I didn't know much about them at the time. But it's operating pretty fast, much faster than like OpenPose, which was like 1 to 2 frames per second on a powerful computer. Yeah, I think you could make a real-time-ish version of this by like saving the images as they come in, but only processing something like if you calculate the frame rate and you process like 10 frames per second and then have it on like a 1 to 2 second lag, that's still pretty close to real time. And I think something like that is actually pretty tractable. Yeah. Everyone VR, yeah. I mean, I think eventually we'll get this to a place, because I'm also like, this is also using like these things usually have knobs, like speed accuracy knobs, and I always crank it all the way to accuracy. But I could crank it back towards speed and then get much higher frame rates. Yeah, not a. Also, going back. I think about like building like a really like slick terminal like uh, command line / textual user interface, building off of Rick. What is his name? Will McGowan's like Rich Python package, which I love. That's how I make these like purple guys. Because I do think something like the problem with the GUI is that if it's too slick, then you don't know what's going on under the hood. But yeah, yeah, Micon is There's there's sort of there's a sense of like you can wait. It's like if you wait until you're ready, then you wait too long, kind of thing. So like that's often how I interact with technology. It's like, all right, just do it, and then you'll learn your lessons, and the next iteration will be better. That's often how I operate. Cas 99 VR is on the path for sure. If Oculus can do, there's technology moves fast, I'll say, and basically like a lot of research tools wind up being, you got to use the right tool for the job. Well, we'll need icons someday. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon, and maybe for the rest of our lives. I don't know. Okay, cool. We're done processing, and there I am. I think it looks pretty. So I don't have anything to like connect the dots. A little bit of face wobble. Something. So I currently don't have. This isn't playing the full animation, really, is it? Like that jump. Something just jumped there. One of the problems is like I don't have a method for like showing the video. Like so, like the one above, you can see like the animation with the videos overlaid next to it with the 2D dots drawn on top of it. Thanks, Moa Development. I will also check yours out. I'll check that video out in a second or later, at some point soon. But yeah, so like the thing above where you have the 3D animation on the one side and the 2D videos with the data drawn on top the other, super important for debugging, because it's really hard to tell with this, like when errors come up, like something weird is happening there, and it's hard to interpret it because you're just looking at the reconstruction. This is also like purely raw data, like so that weird like blibba. That's when I was doing this thing. Also, it's not playing at the right frame rate. I don't know what's going on right now. Something's going on there, but it's pretty good. Yeah. And then this fails because it's the wrong. So currently, most of the, like the animation, like everything's kind of built. Thank you. Everything's built for OpenPost skeletons, which have different numbers of points and like, that was rendered with. Oh, hi, Glitch Robot. That was rendered with PyQt Graph, which is a the PyQt package for like scientific visualization. That animation itself was using PyOpenGL, which is a Python binding for OpenGL. It's very basic, but like it's nice because it's pretty fast. And PyQt Graph, I think, is going to wind up being. I'm gonna basically like I'm gonna like steal a lot of their stuff to like build the GUI, because they have a really awesome. Can I do this? Can I do this? Python-m pyqtgraph.examples. Does that work? It does. Look at that. First of all, I love this, where you can see the code and you can change the code and then just rerun example, and it spits out like something like this, which is super cool. In particular, so the 3D graphics is using PyOpenGL, and this one, this one is kind of getting used, sort of used and abused to make that animation. Oh, actually, not that one. Dock widgets. Like something like a GUI that's built out of this, and you got these, plots here, and you can something like this you could build. Like I basically want to abuse this code, because this is the code that generates the thing, right? Because this guy right here, and it shows you doc 1, doc 2. So these are the things I'm going to be using. But yeah, in the fullness of time, as they say. What else was I gonna say? Yeah. Thanks, Glatroba. That's actually I always appreciate it when people say I did that and it worked out well, because I never know what I'm doing. It's over my head too. MOA development. I learned Python during the pandemic. Before that, I was a MATLAB person, and my bachelor's degree is in philosophy. I don't understand any of this stuff. I kind of do. I understand it more than your average bean, but compared to the people who are actually experts in this stuff, I don't know shit. The way I think about it is that I have gotten to a point in my life where I am mediocre at so many things that it counts as expertise. And now it's just cash in on that, I guess. Yeah, I figured it out. That's pretty much that's my approach to everything. It's it'll be fine. Just bang your head against it for a while, and you'll get better at it. Time under load. That's how you get stronger. It's like a metaphor. Ooh. That would be good. Yeah, that's a good idea. I need to do. I'll do that elsewhere. That's sort of consistent branding is important. And a lot of the stuff, a lot of my what they call it, media, social media stuff, has evolved. A lot of it was branded with Human Research Lab. That is very true. Time under terminal. See, this is actually the thing. That's kind of how I feel. I'm 37, which is older than I've ever been, but also younger than I'll ever be. And I'm kind of reaching that point where it's I can kind of tell, people, I'm starting to diverge from my peers, but some people in their mid to late 30s like are starting to drop off of the tech side of things, and then it'll just zip straight past you. And I kind of like, I don't know, it's like it's weird sort of approaching, I guess it would be middle age, goddamn, and kind of being like, oh right, yeah, it's like I guess I do know how to do stuff. Because I've been calling myself a beginner for so long at so many things. It's like I should probably stop. It's like I'm a beginner, but I've been saying that for a decade now. So maybe I should shut up. So Demonte, like that's the kind of thing. Like that's why I love robotics, is because it's like it's really well suited for like guess and check, because like you try something and then you can tell if it worked because the robot does the thing you wanted it to do. It's like there's kind of like a brutal practicality built into the system, because you have to interact with the real world. Like you can't fake it. Like if you want the robot to move here and squirt water there, you can't fake that. It either will do that or it won't. I mean, I guess you can't fake it, but like you can hard code all the numbers or something like that. But that's why I like working in robotics. Who's the robot person? There was a robot person earlier. Yeah, also AI it's so many things. Like there is no one thing called AI. Like, you know, AI these days means deep learning neural networks. Like when I started grad school, neural networks were like children's toys. And then and then it was all like symbolic logic. You know, AI tends to like, what AI just means like, you know, a computer did it. And a computer did it in a way that would impress somebody. You know, it used to be that like a calculator's ability to remember an operation was AI. Like, you know, a thermostat is AI. Imposter syndrome is every day. That's my life. That's what I tell everybody. That's like I love saying that to like students and whatnot. I was like, yep, that feeling is called imposter syndrome. It lasts forever, and you just get better at it. Right. AI is like an artificial way, like a non-biological system solves a complex task. Like, you know, in game AI, it's like the AIs are solving tasks of like which direction should I point and shoot at, you know, like in like this kind of stuff, like the tracking software is AI. Like it's like you give it a picture and you say draw a dot over the elbow, and then you say yes or no, and then like it learns to get better. That's AI. So convolutional neural network is indeed like this. Like most of these things, like the tracking softwares, are convolutional neural networks, and convolutional neural networks are a form of artificial intelligence. It's a method to do the things that we sort of broadly classify as AI, but it's just one of many. No, CNNs are still state of the art for the tasks that they perform. Like if you are trying to do something that is served well by a convolutional neural network, this is convolution, then CNNs are the state of the art. If you're trying to do some GPT-3 or whatever is not using a convolutional neural network because it's not doing something that can't be convolved over. But computer vision uses convolutional neural networks because you're convolving the image. And my hand is like, so convolutional means like you take a filter and you just sort of like run it over and the grid and it reports like how likely is there a face in this image. It's like low, low, very high, low, low, low. That's convolution. I don't know, man. I think I might be done. Am I done? I'm a little. It's been a long week, so I'm a little tired, and I feel like I have achieved my goals. Let's pull that video up again, because I want to show basic use, right? So right now we did that and we ran it from the start, and we recorded it and yada yada. But say we don't want to do that, right? Say it failed in somewhere. Adversarial. So generative adversarial networks, GANs, are not convolutional. They often GANs are built using convolutional neural networks. I think this is true. If it's using images, it's probably convolutional at some level or another. But like, GANs are just a different application. All of those things are using sort of deep learning methods, like how to train very, very large neural networks. They just have different shapes and structures. I know that like there's a lot going on there, a lot of implicit knowledge. But like, AI is not a very strict term. It just basically means like Turing test stuff. Like, what is it? Like often like the colloquial comma AI. I don't know what comma AI is. But I think a lot of it actually does go. I've had the thought on like just now, but I think a lot of our definition of AI actually is kind of related to like the Turing test. Like, if it's an artificial system doing something that we generally would associate with like non-artificial systems, like humans and animals, then we call it AI. It's like, oh, that's like intelligent behavior, but a machine did it, so it's AI. Yeah, self-driving cars, they use various forms of AI. I don't know the details of self-driving cars, but they undoubtedly use a CNN at somewhere, because they give you a probability map that says, oh, I think there's a bicycle here. And if you see something that's like, there's a region of a 2D space that has a probability in it, that's probably convolutional. Thanks, Sotomonte. Thank you for the help with like organizing the server. You sort of offered that help at an opportune time, and it's been very appreciated. And thanks for the nice compliment. It's like one of these. Right. I'm doing a thing. Right. So this is the script, the run me script that I use to record the video. But let's say that I want to see the animation again, but I don't want to re-record the thing. So what I do is I say, and this is also not the best user interface, this will get better. You can set the processing stage from the run me function. So I happen to know, this is the problem. I happen to know that, the run me function, the run function lives in run me FMC run. It's convoluted, but it lives here. FMC run me has run. And then you can set the stage, and we're going to set the stage to just be the animation, which I think is stage 7? No, stage 6. And so we say stage equals 6, comma, space, save, run. And then now, oh, it was already running. Are you running? Oop. What's going on? Where are we? Who are you people? Run. There we go. So now it's going to run, and it's going to pick. So rather than starting from the beginning, which prompts the recording to start, it skips it skips recording, skips syncing, skips calibration, skips processing, media pipe, and then just spits out the animation. And this is the same animation. Isn't that nice? So the data lives. So you specify there's a command that we'll talk about later to specify the recording path, like where to save all the data, and makes this free mocap _data folder. And in this folder, you get all these are your session recordings, and it's sesh 2021. I'm gonna have to change that. I don't like that it says 21. It should say 2021. 08, 05, 17, 11, 16 is the time that the recording started. In here, you got all these videos. These are the synced videos. I'm actually going to just watch this just to see if I can. So there's me, hands, hands. Okay, actually. Okay, back of the hands. I'm going to try to sync this up with the video. All right. All right. Huh. Interesting. So I'm still not sure why it freaks out at the end there, but the part where it freaks out corresponds to the end of this video. So I'm guessing it has something to do with the way that it loops. We'll know later. It'd be much easier if this animation showed the videos next to it, but we're not there yet. Yeah, not bad. for like this is 3 $20 webcams, so this is a grand total of $60 worth of equipment, not counting the computer. Looks not bad. Also, this is like 100% raw data. Someone on a previous stream correctly pointed out that the next one of the next phases, the FPS is 30 frames per second, but the way that it processes the software, that's actually irrelevant because it's doing everything in post processing. IK, was that you, Magician, that mentioned IK? Because you were right. That is the plan. That's part of the plan. But yeah, so these things could be like 1,000 frames per second, and it would be just fine. It would just take a lot longer to process because there's more frames. FPS only matters if you're trying to do stuff in real time, because we're processing it after the fact. Higher frames per second just means it takes longer to run. But yeah, like that's kind of how I appreciate that comment. Also, the fact that you've been watching this whole time. So that's kind of how I'm evaluating this data. Is not. Yeah, higher frame rate is better because then you can smooth over it, and it's better. But right now, part of the big part of this phase of the process was how cheap can we get this, and the minimum cost is 2 $20 webcams. If you get much cheaper, they stop working. I don't understand that, but right now, 2 $20 webcams and a moderately powerful computer can get you data. I'm currently using 3 webcams. You can put as many webcams as you want. You can also use things like GoPros and stuff like that, but that's still in development. But yeah, so to your point, well, to my point about you, the magician Gur, is when I am looking at this data, I am not really evaluating it for what it is. I'm evaluating it for what I know I will be able to build off of it. This is raw data. This is blah. So you look at it like, oh yeah, the face is jumping, oh yeah, it's jiggling, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care about that because I know that those are fixable problems, and they're fixable with a lot of different methods that just haven't been implemented yet. Can we use USB hub? 2 questions. I'll answer the second one first. What are the resolution limits? I don't know. It's dependent on... so like OpenPose, if you fed it too high a resolution of image, it would downsample it. Otherwise, it would your GPU would die. The max resolution is kind of defined on whatever Japanese script 211. I think that's Japanese. That is Japanese. I believe that's Japanese. Welcome. Hello. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so the maximum resolution is defined by is defined by the 2D tracking software in question. We're using MediaPipe here. I don't know how it handles higher resolution stuff. A lot of these things downsample the image. Lower limits, very good question. Also dependent on the 2D tracker. These are using mostly 640 by 480. Because like the reality is for a lot of these things, the higher resolution doesn't help you all that much. I don't know if that's true, actually. It's a good question. 640 by 480, like my intuition is if you can look at, if you, with your giant human brain, yeah, single pixel cameras are actually, that's a whole, like, that's a whole vibe and really cool technology. Google single pixel camera if you feel like going down an engineering rabbit hole. But my intuition on a lot of this stuff is that if you can look at the image and draw an X over the elbow, like if you, and over the wrist, like if you can kind of figure out where the wrist, where the elbow are, then it will probably work reasonably well. Yeah. So, but ultimately, like, you know, I personally, like, as a researcher, am I will, now that it works on the cheapo webcams, I'm probably going to build better, more advanced, like, I'm going to start buying more expensive cameras to get higher frame rates and higher resolutions. But, and we'll see how that pans out. So facial mocap, I'm not really fully sure what you mean by that. Like, this is tracking my face, but it's doing like an okay job because MediaPipe does an okay job at that. It doesn't, MediaPipe doesn't do well with like big open mouths and stuff like that. I think it regresses a little too much towards the mean there. But when you say facial mocap, do you mean like cameras on sticks looking at your face? Because that is very, so the vibe there would be recording probably something like recording externally, and then or is also an option here, and having cameras on your face. Helmet and a stick camera, yeah, for sure. For that, I mean, that's, yeah, drawing points on your face, that's sort of a little more classic, old school. Like, I think the modern markerless face tracking stuff, I don't think you need to draw on your face anymore. Although that said, it would probably help. Different tools for different jobs. Sort of the stick-based face mocap is something, it's sort of philosophically related to eye tracking, which is something that I'm very, like, as a scientist, that's sort of a very core technology for me. And that is cameras on very tiny sticks looking at your eyes to get basically high resolution, high frame rate videos of your eyes, which haven't done this yet, but will. You can then sort of attach those high res, high frame rate eyes to the lower res, lower frame rate sort of, you know, head track. And that is something that I will be doing. There's challenges there, obviously, but those challenges are very philosophically related to like camera on a stick based face mocap, possibly coextensive, because if you get if you put like a GoPro Hero 9 or 2 on a stick in front of your face and record your face at 1080p at 240 frames per second, that might give me everything I need for the eyes. And so I might just, that's a good point, Mycon. I am humanocentric. And also in general, like, if it's, you know, marker less tracking is like doing a very hard job, but so you could always help it along by giving it marks. But a lot of that requires, like, good night, Nade. So some of the stuff that you're talking about is kind of veering into the world wherein I or someone like me is actually going in and altering the underlying behavior of the markerless, you know, neural network tracking systems that are actually driving the mocap here, which is currently very far above, you know, out of my skill set. But like, I can imagine if I'm in this space for long enough, and by long enough I mean like 6 months to a year to 2 years to 5 years, which is kind of the plan. That will happen eventually, either because I will learn the stuff, or I'll start working with someone that understands it enough to make tweaks. But yeah, MOA development, like, that's on, it's within grasp. Like, this is part of the reason why I'm making this, is like, fuck these people spending trying to charge you $1,000 site license to put something on, like, to put software on your phone. And like, why are they able to do that? It's like, because they understand it. and they're trying to sell that understanding to you. It's like, I don't like that, because most of these technologies, most of this software was developed with public funds anyways. Like, I'm NIH funded. That's like American taxpayers. Like, so like, why is it that we're allowing, like, oh, you understand how markerless motion capture works? Cool, sell it to artists for $1,000. Like, no, we're not doing that. Well, they are, but I'm not. So my business model is basically like keep doing science and like get my money through like the research grants that are sort of my bread and butter, but also build tools that are available for the public to use, and then just give them away for free. And if LiveLink Face has their business model can't stand up to that, good. Do something better for the world. Yeah. Yeah. I will look out to Rob Motion, because I think, like, if nothing else, that the representation he had of the sticks is very close to something of. I was imagining just like getting a football helmet, like an American football helmet, and like sticking cameras to it. But like I had that. This is a 3D printer, so like if he has the models, I can just start printing those things. Even if he's kind of like, moved on in life or something, maybe he just needs someone to like be like, hey, I'm interested in this. Like, do you want to keep working on it? Because like, it can be discouraging. Looking at his stream, like he's got, like low thousands of views and things like that. Like, it's not nothing, but like if you're at that level for a while and like you feel like you're not making progress and you feel like people are losing interest, like that can be really discouraging. So I would love to reach out to that person and be like, hey, you want to like, maybe I can help you, maybe I can't, but I can tell you that I like what you're doing. Join the fun. That's the beauty of open source. Because right now, the model is, like, if I encounter someone doing what I'm doing, and there's plenty of people out there doing what I'm doing. Some of them are building closed source proprietary softwares. I can ignore them. Other people are doing free open source version. We can work together. So it's great, because if you can find, you want to stop that wobble for sure. There's a lot of solutions. Some of the solutions you can solve in software, but ideally you solve it with the hardware. It's kind of like you want the hardware to be as clean as possible so that you can minimize the amount that you have to solve with software. In things like camera wobble and shake, like I can imagine how to clean that data, but it'd be better if it came in pretty clean already. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, one more thing on the tutorial-ish side of the world. So I was able to run the data that I just ran from stage 6, which is great, right? Look at him go. Look at this guy. Look how happy he is. He's doing great. Goodbye. And that fails. We knew that. We're not surprised by that. But what if I wanted to run a different session? What if I didn't like that session? What if I'm like, oh, what about that session I ran yesterday? First of all, which one is this one? Oh, not that one. Let's see, 5. What about you? Yeah, so this is one. This is like from last night. Much worse lighting. This is only 2 cameras, filmed from kind of farther away. Let's see if we can process this guy. So if you run it without specifying which session to run, it just looks in your data folder and uses the last recording. But you can also specify. So we're going to specify this one. And here in run me, I'm going to add. So if I don't specify session ID, it just uses the last recording. LIFO method. That sounds like one of those things. Last in, first out. LIFO, last in, first out. Yeah, last in, first out. Last in, first out. Yeah, LIFO. See, as someone that is a dabbler and someone who doesn't have like training in specific fields, this is one of the great things about Twitch is like people will just say like acronyms. Like I learned the term REPL, REPL, on this, which like now I know that. First in, last out. First in, last. Ah, yeah. See, you just like it's kind of like you just because like when you're working between fields, like it's so like not knowing the basic terminology is one of the main blockers for people to be able to work across disciplines, and it's so painful to have to like explain to people like the sort of like if you're working on hard stuff, you don't want to have to like divert hard to like get people up to speed with basic stuff, but you also kind of have to do that if you want to be like a good collaborative person, and that's why people tend to just wind up like sticking within their own discipline. That's why FaceLink can spend $1,000 on software, because the people who actually made the underlying technology don't have the time and energy to build a user interface. Anyways, over here, session ID equals, oops. So if I specify the user, the session ID, it will find that session ID and run only that one. So this one should basically do the same thing starting from stage 6, pop up an animation showing lower quality data because it was from like darker, 2 cameras and darker. So let's see what it looks like. Actually, so it's this one, synced videos. This is the video. And run. Doing more of that, trying out, like trying to abuse the poor face and so. It's not too bad. Okay, let's see here. Considering how shitty these lightings are, first in, first out, at some point catches up. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're referring to the way that I interact with chat. Because I was talking about the way you processes data in the session folder, which is also last in, first out. But you're right. I notice things when a new one pops up, where I really should be. Yeah, I mean, this. So yeah, like again, this is $40 worth of equipment, and very inopportune lighting, and you can't really see it, but it is tracking my whole body. It's just hard to notice because like it's such a small number of dots. Like, there are 468 total tracked points here. No, there's like 576 or some odd tracked points here. 25 of them are the body, and 400 of them are the face. But it's like a mesh, so it doesn't really count. Okay. Thanks, Micon. I don't know. It's kind of like I'm pretty like flighty, and I think I'm kind of just like learning Twitches, like like I'm like so for like the developer update, like learning how to like pay like okay, I'm not gonna pay attention to you now. There might come a point where I'm doing things like recording tutorials where I might like actively look away. But for the most part, like I don't really like I go on tangents and I lose threads. That's me. That's just me. That's how I roll. And I don't really mind it. I don't know if that's. I can only hope it's not too annoying to watch. But also, I'm doing this for free, so you get what you pay for. But yeah, I'm glad. Thanks, Moa. It's pretty fun. Like it's working pretty well, and like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I also hit so I just hit a wall where it's just like I tried to form a thought and my brain was like, nah. Which is 6 o'clock, which is usually the time that I wrap up. So yeah. All right. Cool. I'm gonna throw you at somebody. And oh, Code Miko, she does yeah, this like, so she's using Rococo. Oh, she's not using anything. But she's using Rococo to do this, which is an IMU-based motion capture. It is absurd to me that we are in a phase of the world where people believe that IMU-based motion capture is the way to go. IMU-based mocap is the fucking worst. It's such a plane. Oh yeah, Neon XDev. But yeah, yes, there we go. Ah, ha. Yeah, there you go. Neon XDev. That's my brother. He's great. But yeah, we should I think we should be able to replace stuff like this. Like the world shouldn't be y'all shouldn't be using IMUs inside. Ever. IMUs are the worst. It's the worst kind of motion capture around. It's great. I've used it. I published on it because I was doing stuff outside. If you are indoors where you can mount cameras, don't use inside out tracking. If you can use outside in tracking, it will work better than inside out tracking. The fact that capitalism has forced y'all to be spending $5,000 on IMU suits for mocap is absolutely a failing of the scientific community. We have failed you because this is what you guys think motion capture looks like. She's great. I don't really know anything about her, but I love her. I'm just saying better options exist. You have been let down by capitalism and science has let it happen. And I apologize. I personally apologize for any of you that believe that IMU based motion capture is good. Anyways, rant over. I'm gonna raid you over there. Raid code. Thanks, Mycon. I appreciate the support. Good luck over there. Bye, everybody. You're great. I'll see you next week. Join the Discord or something. I'll do that too. The Discord server is actually 1 or 2 people away from having 500 people, which is a milestone. At 500, you get analytics, which is fun. Bye, everybody. Let's do /raid code Miko. Beep. And doing that. And where is it? Pew. Okay. Bye.